Colonel Bouquet continues, I wish we could make use of the Spaniards' method and hunt them, the Indians, with English dogs, supported by rangers and some light horse, who would, I think, effectively extirpate or remove that vermin. Extirpate means to exterminate. So, after agreeing to distribute smallpox blankets to the Indians, Bouquet expresses the wish that they could just hunt them with dogs on horseback and exterminate or drive them out that way. He calls them vermin. Effectively extirpate or remove that vermin. Now, vermin, this is still a word that we use today. Vermin refers to rats or cockroaches or other undesirable animals that you don't want living with you. And this is how the British, including the colonists, thought about Indians. They thought about them as vermin, as pests, as undesirable creatures that they didn't want on their continent. And the British at this point believe that North America is their continent. Right? They don't recognize that the Indians have any real right to be there. This is General Amherst later in life. Amherst, writes back to Bouquet, and he's happy that Bouquet is going to follow his orders. He says, "You will do well to try to inoculate the Indians by means of blankets, as well as to try every other method that can serve to extirpate this execrable race. I should be very glad your scheme for hunting them down by dogs could take effect." So General Amherst is endorsing the goal of exterminating the Indians, whom he calls an execrable race. Execrable means horrible, terrible, no good. And he also endorses the scheme of hunting them down by dogs. This is that's the smallpox blanket evidence from Pontiac's rebellion. Now, we don't know how effective this was. We assume that Bouquet in fact followed the order and issued smallpox blankets to Indians. You wouldn't have to just rely on parleys, sporadic negotiations with Indians for distributing those blankets. You could also just leave them behind, right? When you strike camp, if you leave the supplies behind, it's likely that the Indians will find them. The Indians valued a good warm wool blanket as much as anybody, and if it gets left behind, then it's going to get claimed. And we don't know how many blankets were distributed. We don't know how effective they were. We do know that smallpox wiped out lots of Native Americans in the region during and after Pontiac's War. We just aren't sure how much of that death was from normal smallpox transmission. It's a virus which you can catch from getting coughed or sneezed on or otherwise in personal contact with someone who's infected, or versus who got it from using the blankets. Now, Amherst becomes a great war hero. Actually, already was a great war hero in Britain and the 13 colonies. Not because of the smallpox blanket thing. Nobody knew about the smallpox blankets at the time. It's not till a historian named Bancroft in the 1800s was reading these letters that he discovered this crime. At the time, Amherst was a hero on the strength of his victories in the French and Indian War and in Pontiac's War, and so that's the reason he became a hero over in Britain and here in America. There's a town named after Amherst in western Pennsylvania, which also has a college named after him, Amherst College. There it is. For just $75,000 a year, you can go to this selective private college. Former President Calvin Coolidge was a graduate of Amherst. This is some plates and mugs that were in use at Amherst College back in the 50s or 60s. They don't use them anymore, but they're available on eBay, which is where I got these pictures. The plates have General Amherst chasing an Indian, which at the time they thought that was cute and funny, which reminds us that not too long ago there was very low awareness of the the great crimes done against the first people, the Native Americans, by European settlers, by the ancestors of most of us who are now in the United States.